Welcome back. We are finally back from our little bit of vacation for the holidays.
Yeah.
And so it is January, and we are back for season 2.
Huzzah! Woo! Season 2. And look, we thank everyone for, writing it out. I know we ended up with 19 episodes. And I'll just give you a little hint. December was so busy, we recorded the 20th one and never published it. But that might be like special content. We may put it out there as an Easter egg. We haven't decided how we're going to do that.
Seems like a little bit of
I don't even remember what we said.
But lost little episode that just never got published.
It's kind of hard to publish it now because obviously we're going to talk about Christmas coming up and taking off for December and things like that. But it's still in the archives. It's still kind of like one of those things that, in a historical sense, is part of us. It's like the long lost episode 20. Maybe we'll just wait 5 years when we're famous.
Right.
And then we'll sell it. I don't know how, but we will.
Sure.
So anyway, hope you all are having a good beginning of your year. We're excited about this, but yeah.
We are parents, when our kids are off, we're off. So we're not off, we
we're off all right.
We continue to work, but as far as like there are certain things that you just kind of
just the flow of family, and
right?
Just trying to juggle.
They had their winter break, so we kind of changed it up a little bit, slower mornings, stuff like that.
Yep, I get that completely.
So that is where we were. We had a lovely Christmas.
Yeah, great Christmas.
And New Year's season, and got to see a lot of family and
we did.
Friends that are family. And so we are back in action, rolling back into January.
Turn the calendar over and whatnot. Here we go.
Let's do this. We are a little underfed. We decided to have some changes.
Yeah. And we've done this before in so many different ways, but
it's always good to cleanse.
I was consuming too many calories, especially at night. So,
but we're kicking off some New Year's
I'm already feeling better.
Some New Year's,
newness,
like hitting it off.
That's right.
Something that's not new though. What we're gonna kind of go into and talk about a little bit of a sad story, old story, but kind of in our new environment, this is giving new light. Okay. So we're gonna talk about. I call it the loving and the loathing of automation. So yes, we are in such an automated world.
Sure, a lot of technology, a lot of things doing stuff.
Right. There's parts of it that's absolutely awesome. I have done the Dunkin' Donuts app and just kind of sent
an order in,
and you went by and picked it up, that kind of thing. So it was like, whoa, that's amazing. We're a very small town, so we're just now getting used to this. But so certain things that have probably been in most people's lives for a while are kind of getting a little more here. And so we're able to use and utilize some of that automation.
Well, we'll say one thing I have liked over the past years is depositing checks.
Right, mobile deposit.
Why do I need to drive to the bank if I'm not going to be going to town?
We do not have a close bank. Yeah. That is the next town over. So for us, that is awesome.
With a mule, it takes you probably about 5 hours to get there.
Right. Thank God it's not a mule. So, certain things that are excellent with automation, when I go into the grocery store and I have 5 items, running through and just going ahead and checking myself out is so easy.
Yeah, if I have 40, I'll have a panic attack.
That's the loving. Here is the loving part of automation where, yes, there are things that work really well because of automation.
Yeah, they do.
There's also the loathing.
Yep.
I'm also about 25-30 minutes from the grocery store. 9 times out of 10, it's not 5 items. It's the family's week or the family's week and a half,
right,
to which I am buying. So at that point, I'm going to look for a person.
Oh yeah,
I really need that person. I need somebody that knows how to very quickly put in the avocado without me having to scan it or trying to find it.
And if you got kids with you,
avocado
sometimes it's
actually
hard
much easier to find.
Yeah,
much further down, like red pepper, a little bit harder.
Yep. True. I get it.
So there is a loathing part. There's parts of which automation maybe doesn't work, or maybe can take a little bit of a seat and step back.
Maybe the system just isn't quite as reliable, and you need the human to step in.
Right, and so a lot of a wired together is what we talk about. Is where's the human and where's technology, and then how do we work together? So this is going to be a love story or a loathe story.
Right,
let's
depends.
just decide.
Right, and maybe back and forth.
Right, of automation.
Yeah.
So WinternetWeb has decided to do something new.
Yeah, I guess this is now becoming public.
We are a hub for Amazon delivery.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense. We're a big Amazon area. The nature of our community is a little more retiree, so it kind of makes sense that a lot of people do a lot of packaging.
Sure, you got a lot of people that it's not easy for them to get out.
Right,
like
and after I've driven through some of their neighborhoods, it's not easy to get out. By the way,
it's not easy to get in either.
It's not easy to get in. And so we have started the hub delivery. We are kind of in the middle, or like right off 85, so we're easy access. And so we're very in the middle of where, I guess, the hub of where our interactivity is.
Sure.
And so it makes sense that we're doing this. We are also, a box store. We're a building.
Yeah.
So that helps. And so we've kind of started this little process, which is great.
It is.
It's really cool that we can, oh my gosh, I've lived
so
here my
neat.
entire life.
Oh, yeah.
I've known,
It's like,
my community very strongly.
It's like in that role-playing game.
I've never seen some places that I've been to.
Right, it's like in that role-playing game, and you look at the map, and it's like, what's this gray area over here? I didn't know that was there. It's like I've like actually gone into the crevices of the dungeon, of the gray areas that I had no business making the turn on that road to see it anyway. But it's like, wow, the world map is opening up.
Right, and we
cool.
live on a lake, or live near a lake. We don't live on a lake, but we live near the lake.
No, we don't.
And so the views.
Oh yeah, it is so
what
cool.
I've seen,
it's like, oh wow, this is nice.
So again, there's so much positive in this.
It is definitely.
Here's the slightly negative side of the story is automation.
Oh yeah.
Automation works when it is supposed to. It is one of those things where, yes, automation is absolutely excellent. Mm-hmm. Until it
doesn't,
Right, and then when it's broken, it's like nothing anybody can do.
A quote I've always said, I have no idea where I picked it up, but computers make very fast, accurate mistakes.
Very fast, accurate mistakes.
So
exactly.
when it's broke, it's broke.
They also make very fast, accurate, help. Mm-hmm. If they work.
Sure, exactly. You can get your answer if the system complies with your input.
If the system is doing what it's supposed to do.
Sure, right.
Here's the problem. The system doesn't always do what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Something happens. Human error or automation error. We actually don't know, but something will quirk. Something will, glitch.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, nobody knows what to do. It is a stop.
Right.
And that was our experience this week. So this is the little story time of our experience this week is what didn't work.
Right.
And then what happens from what didn't work is nobody can help.
Yeah. You kind of...
When something is over automated, then all of a sudden there's no one there that can actually say, oh, I know your problem and I've got this.
Sure, yeah.
You know, and so here's where the human element is so important.
Yeah, it's vital when something goes wrong.
And so this just goes into exactly who we are as people, who we are as our company. Is, you know, for us, technology is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's
and
a big
we can do so much with it, but we are also the fixers of it.
Yeah.
So when people are done and they're frustrated and nothing works and they really would rather throw it out the window, they come to us.
Yeah.
And so then we can kind of help through that and that sort of thing. When we're done and frustrated and want to throw it out the window, that's when it's kind of like, oh wow. There's such a bigger picture here.
Right. It's like communication is vitally important.
Right.
Listening, you know.
And so the main problem is, you know, when you over automate something, and you know, Amazon's doing a lovely job as far as trying to get something out there.
Yeah.
And so that's great, but at the same time, you know, it's so automated that you end up with a situation where there's no human to contact. There's no person to say, okay, let me make this tweak.
Right. Well, I mean, sometimes when you build a system like that and, you know, there are tweaks to the system, your people that you deal with don't always understand how it works.
Right.
They just know, hey, okay, you do this part, you know. I'm sorry, you're wearing the yellow hat, you turn the yellow knob. You're wearing the blue hat, you push the blue button. I mean, in big companies, it's kind of done that way because when they hire somebody, I mean, honestly, it is an assembly line.
Right.
Because
you don't really have the big
it's logistics. Picture. This needs to get here, it travels through the system. Now, when it breaks in the middle somewhere, the person in the middle doesn't know what the people do on, you know, at the beginning of the conveyor belt. And you have no idea what happens after it passes them. So when you're talking about something going wrong, no one really has the big picture.
Right.
And no one can say, okay, let's see if that and that and that. You know, it's like when you're talking about the human body and the system, you know, everything works together. It's just a computer. I understand how this works and I understand how this works. Therefore, this must be the point of failure. But nobody really seems to understand that. And that's with a lot of larger industries. Small business, like we've said many, many times.
Adaptable, easy to move.
Understand how it all works together. And I think we got frustrated when we tried to, you know, first off, who do we reach out to? And everyone we reached out to didn't really have a good answer. And it's like, well, why is that? Well, yeah, it's because you're talking to a multi-billion-dollar company. But you think, oh, wait, that's great. They should have everything. No. They don't have what small business can offer.
Right.
They don't have the full picture.
They don't have the full picture, which keeps them from being able to troubleshoot.
Exactly.
And so
they just go, I don't know.
So we ended up with an issue of things that didn't scan exactly right.
Yeah.
And so then, of course, we got the age-old, you know...
Did you turn it off, turn it back on?
So did you turn it off and turn it back on?
Right. I knew you were going to say that.
Did you, you know... What did you do wrong?
Right.
You know, and so
it's everything alluded to. Okay, well, you made a mistake.
Something was wrong, and it's like, no, this really is not. I've been doing this correctly for a while now.
Right.
Apparently, it's working. So something broke.
Yeah.
And it became this point in time where, again, nobody could actually help.
Yeah.
Because it was not a situation of.
No one had the keys.
Right. Nobody had the fix.
Right.
And so the only thing you could do was pretty much return.
Send it back and start over. Let's try it again.
Return to sender and hope to God that it gets kind of worked out for itself. And so that was very hard for us to do. We are small business,
and we troubleshoot a lot, and it's like,
and it's very hard for us to just like admit defeat and say no.
It's like, but this can't.
We didn't go through, you know, we went through all of the effort we could.
I mean, we spent like 8 hours on it. Didn't even get paid, but anyway, that's not here nor there.
But we spent 8 hours on trying to talk to whoever we could possibly talk to, try to figure out who had the keys, you know, if you will.
There's got to be a way.
Just because, again, we're small business, we're used to fixing things ourselves. We weren't used to the concept of oh, well, that's a glitch and just send it back.
And it's like, but...
And it's like, no,
it's like, that can't happen.
That's not okay. That's not okay with me. I didn't finish my project. I had to finish my project,
so I'm going to send them back for them to come back to me to do it again?
Right.
So who did you talk to when I send them back that fixed it? That's the guy I want to talk to right now so I can deliver these packages to these people.
Right. And so there was this huge difference between how we understood what the best practices were for moving forward.
Yeah. I know.
And so that kind of led us into, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about human effectiveness versus automation.
Yeah.
Automation is extremely effective when something needs to be done constantly.
Yeah.
When
like a loop, function.
When something needs to be in a loop, something is a function.
Yeah.
Something needs speed.
Yeah.
Again, you've got your 5 pieces that you just want to go ahead and check out and run out of the grocery store really fast.
Right.
Automation's excellent for that.
Mm-hmm.
Automation is not good when you need a larger picture of understanding.
Oh, no, yeah.
And so that's where the WinternetWeb kind of bases ourselves on is there is this larger area of understanding when it comes to what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't like things to be overly templated. We don't like things to be overly automated or anything like that. Because if it's slightly interesting and more different, actually, certain things like search engine optimization and things like that increase because something is a little more interesting, a little more, there's a little more information, or there's just a little more searchable understanding. And so we like to kind of put that little extra oomph into it, which is not something that's easily automated.
No. And I mean, and a template always will kind of hook you into certain things that you don't want. And when you step back and you have the bigger picture, sometimes it's like you can picture what the portrait should be, but then now you're trying to choose which of the paint by number is closest to what that looks like. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes, I like that analogy.
And it's always with stepping back, but see, with a system, with something that is choice A, B, C, D, E, F, go down the alphabet, whatever, none of them fit, So it's kind of, and this is where the relationship with, if we're building a website for a client, we need to understand, and you bring this, into exactly what we do. It has to do with the relationship with the person we're building the site for. If we can't understand what they do and why, and we have advantages in that. We
also understand the community.
Exactly, we know the community.
We understand the business's place in the community and why that needs to be highlighted.
And I guess a lot of people in there are kind of surprised by this. When we talk to them about a website, it's like, look, let's set up a meeting and talk. And they're like, oh, really? And I'm like, yes, in person. I mean, and not everyone can. I mean, some are counties over, some are states over. I mean, that'd be cool to take a trip, but you do what you do.
Some are boards, some are municipal.
Right, exactly.
We've got certain, we do have larger clients. But.
But for a client that might be, 40 minutes away, they come, we sit around a table, and we can look at things together. And oftentimes what we find is we're asking them questions that, I guess getting information from them that they didn't know they needed to tell us,
Right. They didn't see that was important about their business,
but
once it's actually important to put online.
It unlocks a kind of oh, okay, you mentioned that. Here's the approach you need to take, and here is this, and you're the hero. We need to promote you and showcase this, and it's like I didn't even think about it this way. So, but it was that conversation. It's hard to do on the phone. It's much harder to do an email. Impossible.
Very hard to do an email.
And but setting that relationship, and then all of a sudden you start building trust. And it's not building trust like, okay, you see us and we're real people, but it's that collaboration. Right. It's that human spirit that goes back and forth, and then it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I get this, and you're understanding. I can see this coming together, but yeah, so it's It's different.
It is, and that's why as far as what matters in that human interactivity.
Humor's important too.
Humor
that was a good Freudian slip. Yeah.
Sorry. But that human interactivity, it can make the discernment.
Yeah.
That the automation cannot make. And
True.
So we kind of went through a couple of things of why does automation, yes, again, there's all of these really good reasons why it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is the reasons why it maybe needs to be pulled back?
Okay.
And so
why can't it be trusted as a system all the time?
Why is it maybe not useful? When is it the opposite of useful?
I got you. When does it get in your way?
When does it get in your way?
I see what you're saying.
And so there are certain larger companies where they kind of need to understand automation, again, is great, but it does get in the way of certain things.
It does.
And so that's when automation needs to kind of go, be set aside.
Right.
Go sit down.
Yeah.
Humans are acting. Humans are here. We're going to come into the rescue.
Can I interrupt your thought on that? I think one thing is a lot of these bigger companies, and obviously they're going into automation, as we know, to save money.
Mm-hmm.
And they know...
Absolutely.
Right. And they feel like it's, that if we can provide this service flawlessly, because, a lot of programmers, we've all had, like, at one time had a God complex. We can design this. It's going to be flawless. It's going to work. And there's one character that can be the difference of this works great to it's 100% now broken. And
right, 100% working and 100% broken.
Right, but
pretty much the
there's
only
a fine
way
line. I mean,
coding is.
How many times? In the past couple months, have you seen where a major system had a glitch and then it knocked down like 60% of the internet?
Well, that's been very
and it's
recent.
because of like one little update. I mean, Cloudflare had its thing, and these other things. And I'm not going to get into. So tangent wanted to get on there. It was really cool, but it's not going to be on this episode. But so yes, the goal sometimes for companies is because we're growing so quickly, we need to create a system that can build to scale, do the things we need it to do. Then we need to train people to use it. I think the training part is taking a back seat. I think people are jumping in, but they're not really being told how they're supposed to interact with this and what the bigger picture is.
Right. We are spending way too much time trying to automate people.
Yes, but we are not the thing to automate, right?
Right. And that's the problem is automated systems
our brain don't work that
are
way.
Here. Yes,
exactly.
Absolutely.
But we're
automated
humans.
People don't work.
No.
That is the opposite of what should be happening right now.
Right.
And so we cannot automate people.
Right.
We cannot just simply put them in a loop of a function.
No.
And so, oh my goodness, do we try to do that in education? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It does not work.
No.
People are not a function.
No.
People are not an automated system.
No.
And so, when do these things not work?
Yeah.
Certain services and occupations to which this does not work.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that has to do with stress, loss, or fear.
Stress, loss, or fear. That makes sense. I mean, stress, obviously.
An automated system is not emotional.
Right.
And because they lack emotion, or it lacks emotion, there's no way to actually be able to have a successful automated system in those time periods of stress, loss, or fear.
Well, it kind of makes sense because, I mean, think of even, say, sports or something where, I mean, stress can actually be a motivator and a good decision maker for the human.
Sure.
Stress can't be quantitative because, and oftentimes, sometimes in stress, as humans, we make a decision with adrenaline that saves a life. But you can't program that.
No. That's a human action.
Exactly.
So things that are stress, loss, and fear are medical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance claims. especially after loss.
Yeah, that's not something you would want.
Not something that should be automated.
Yeah.
Billing disputes involving hardships.
Right, true.
And customer complaints. All of these things make it very difficult when a company decides to automate.
Yeah.
When they do not have that person that says, hey, I'm listening and I can help.
Yeah.
And how many times have we dealt with this? And this is the point in time where we are having such a generational issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the older generation is trying to deal with things, especially medical issues and insurance. Right. And then they're getting automated.
Your call is important to us.
Your call, yes. Press 1 for, if this has to do with an insurance claim.
Right.
Yeah, it becomes very frustrating.
Sure.
Yes, an automated system cannot be sincere in their bereavement. It's not going to work like that.
It should not.
And bigger companies need to understand that there is that need for the human element when it comes to certain things with stress, loss, and fear.
That's true. Yeah,
and if we can't get back to that point, because yes, so many things, insurance claims are easy to automate. If my, toilet breaks and it's raining in my bathroom.
Right.
Sure, let me make an automated claim. Let's try to figure this out.
What? Yeah.
That should never happen when it's a loss.
It's interesting because I'm thinking back 20 years ago, and maybe we had a better idea about automation then, or it was I would call certain companies and they would put you on hold, and I learned if you got the yelling and cussing, all of a sudden you were put to the front of the queue.
On hold?
Yeah. And I mean...
so they always listen.
Well, I think what it was is you're talking about, the emotional component and how that automation shouldn't handle that, but the human is necessary in that.
Right.
So I'm thinking at that point in time, maybe they realized that. But now, of course, businesses weren't quite as broad as they were in the sense, and automation wasn't really taking over. But what happened then is they must have programmed a element of, okay, if you sense this, then go ahead and bring them straight to the human versus someone just waiting because of some logistical thing that's not really important. But I realized that after about a year that went away, probably because maybe people figured out the trick. But so anyway, but yeah, that was interesting because I saw how that those two things came together. Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes you're talking to an automated system, you're talking to a bot, and it's like, we understand your concern.
No, you don't understand none.
Maybe that makes it worse instead of better.
Right.
Automation doesn't always work when there is nuances and judgment that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. So, diagnosing complex problems. Again, we're probably talking a little on the medical end of things, but and so that is true. There's a lot of times where the medical industry uses automation where maybe it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Yes, and automation can be very helpful when you're kind of turning about patients and that kind of thing. Right. But there again is certain things that are emotional that don't need.
Yeah.
They need that human interaction, that human component, not the automation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're trying to set forth a business strategy and you need a meeting and that kind of thing, a lot of times I see a lot of things where people are working in bigger industries where, that meeting could have been an email.
Yeah, right.
Yes, I get that. But sometimes if you do a meeting that could have been an email, you really don't get that interaction. So you're losing something there.
Maybe what they're saying is it could have been an email because there wasn't much opportunity for interaction.
The meeting was canned.
Not
again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We risk sometimes in automation. We risk automating ourselves.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
And the human being too automated.
The human needs to be more human,
right?
Because the human was leading the meeting.
Leads a meeting to be easier as an email,
right? Exactly.
But if you're actually allowing the interaction, then, then maybe you're allowing other people to speak.
Sure.
Maybe you're also allowing a interaction of sorts. And then that meeting is better as a meeting as opposed to an email.
I get that. That makes sense.
Remember your whole interpretation thing. I've always liked a phone call over a text.
Oh, yeah.
And face-to-face interaction over a phone call.
Yeah, tone helps.
Right. You had a whole thing at some point where you were talking about the amount of interpretation.
I can't remember exactly, but I remember studying this. I did something in college where the degree of correct interpretation based on the modes of communication. And it was like text could be like 10 to 15% of the entire, intended meaning.
Right.
Now, it doesn't mean that you didn't understand. I mean, many times you text, hey, look, can you pick up grapes? Sure. Red, white, red. Okay, I got it. Message clear. But, there's always undertones. There are things that are missed. Now, voice is better, and that's probably 25%, where you can hear. You made a phone call,
but you hear the tone.
You can hear hesitation. You can understand this. You can whatever. But, face-to-face, of course, is so much more because you got expression, you got, disposition, you got all these other modalities that come forward that help you to get a fuller sense of your, again, intended meaning.
Right. Now, so your interpretation's higher. Your
interpretation's higher.
Able to actually interact face-to-face.
Right. And you can also.
It goes down from there.
You can size someone up and read them and understand them better and all that in that situation versus a text, which is probably why text and things like that feel so distant. Mm-hmm. Because you're looking for things, perhaps, that you're not going to get.
Right. Which goes right into relationship-based professions.
Sure, yeah.
Would have a hard time being automated.
Yeah.
Because when you have a relationship and you're actually building that relationship, then the interactivity makes automation seem, again, canned, and interpretation goes too far down.
Right.
It's interesting that the number one relationship-based profession that needs an actual relationship is web design and IT support.
Are you kidding? No.
Well, it makes so much sense because you are, with working with the school system.
Oh, yeah.
When you walked into the room and you need to work on the computer, the first thing you actually need to do is calm the poor teacher.
It's like, look, everything's going to be fine. Whatever.
Yes,
yeah, right.
When it comes to, I have just dealt with this computer and now I want to throw it out the window.
So, do you think I'm stupid? No. Computers do computer things. And,
that translates really well into WinternetWeb, where you, can walk into me being frustrated with the computer and all I want to do is destroy it. Sure. I've got a hammer and you're like, whoa, baby. Whoa. Where, it's important to have that human interaction when your IT is your problem.
Yeah.
When your tech is the thing that's driving you bananas.
And
that's the thing where the human is actually the most important, which makes so much sense that, in your web design and your IT support, that makes the most sense of having that human interaction and that relationship-based concept, because that's where you're not in an actual relationship because it's all computing.
Right, exactly.
So you need that.
Yeah, that does make sense because, again, like you're saying, the connection between you and, say, the outside world is digital. Therefore, you need the human element to make that connection, can't think of the word, but, more authentic, I guess. But, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense with, again, the bigger automated systems, your Amazons and your Walmarts and your big time guys.
Sure.
When it comes to IT support, you actually do need a person.
Yeah, you do.
That has a troubleshooting concept that is able to sit there and go, okay, let's actually sit there and have a conversation.
Yeah.
And I can help.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, how amazing is it to hear I can help.
Exactly. Oh, I know. Heard that today.
Yes. The conclusion of our Amazon trauma when it comes to automation systems and having no one to talk to was finally talking to just one of the drivers.
One of the drivers that, yeah.
And said, you know what, let's figure this out.
Because I sent her a text early in the morning. She was going to be dropping off the packages. And I just said, look, here's what we dealt with. Can I talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yep, we'll figure it out together. And just that quick little text.
Let's figure it out
Let's
together.
figure it out together.
I can't tell you how important that sounds.
Very few words. And it didn't give me an answer, but it gave me a connection.
Yes.
It told me I'm not alone. And, we're in this together with somebody. And that,
right.
That sometimes that's all you need to hear. It's like, look, we'll figure it out. It's good. You're
so
all right.
Anybody in big business, please listen.
Yeah. Just teach your people.
I can help and let's figure this out together is probably the best two things you could possibly say to anybody that's frustrated.
But don't have your chatbot say it.
Please don't have your chatbot say it. Actually say it as a human.
Because it's like, I understand your concern. No, you don't.
No.
I know.
You are not a human and you do not understand my concern.
Oh man!
So, financial advisors make it very difficult.
Oh no! Yeah, you need to make you need the comfort of that human saying, "Look,
I'm not giving my money to something that's just a computing system.
Right.
That I need a human. I need to talk to somebody.
Right.
I need that interaction.
I mean, you can't even trust a vending machine. It's going to take you $1.
I know. What if it does? Right?
It's like my chips.
Every single time I put money in a vending machine, it's like, well,
there it goes.
There it goes. I'm either going to get something or I'm not.
Right.
Real estate agents, I totally agree with this one.
It's trust of property, transactions, things like that.
There is a huge trust element when it comes to real estate. And so thank you guys. We have a lot of real estate agents and some best friends that are real estate agents.
We got a lot of good ones.
And so, we understand that need that where you've got to have that relationship, establish something very quickly.
Yes.
And so, that makes sense that you need to kind of go ahead and make a relationship with your social media, with your online,
yes.
Your web presence, things like that. They go ahead and they put a lot into, please connect with me.
Yes, exactly.
And
doing that
is very huge because you're already telling those people, we're going to start a relationship and we will find you a home.
And we've talked to many that have done websites and we've kind of said, you got to approach this differently. Yes, you may work for, X and Y real estate company. And 2 years from now, you might work for this one over here. So, yes, you might feel like, okay, I need to systematically show what I do. And it's like, no, actually, you're the connection between, the buyer, seller, whomever. You're the hero.
It's not showing what you do.
It's not showing what you do. It's who you are and what you can do. Because, yes, there are people that probably understand it better because they've been in it more years, let's say. But when it comes down to it, you want that person by your side. 11:30 at night, you want to be able to feel like I can send them a text because I just thought about this, and the communication needs to flow back and forth, and you need to feel comfortable about that process, whether you're buying a home and trying to, get that home or selling yours.
Right.
And these are big transactions. These are
homes. Big transactions. I will tell you,
there's nothing bigger than like a mortgage when it comes to a family's long-term expenses.
We'd been married at least a year.
Oh, I was wondering how many. Okay, no.
And maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
And before, we sat down and we filled out the paperwork to buy a house.
Oh yeah, that was thick.
And my comment at the time was, this is more of a commitment than the marriage.
Right. The
marriage was fairly easy to get out of. The commitment of the two of us buying a house together was a whole lot harder to get out,
Yeah, there's your problem.
Obviously, I was quite committed. But, you know, as far as, I thought it was funny that
just
that
ironic
was,
how,
you know, there was like one little tiny, you know, sign the dotted line to get married. But you're selling your life away to buy a house.
It's like, you know, you leave the hospital with your baby. You know, especially first-time parent, you're fumbling around trying to strap them in the car seat, making sure they're secure. And you drive 5 miles an hour all the way home. And it's just almost like they just let us leave.
Right.
And it's like, you know.
There's so much less commitment there.
I know. It's like, but
I just had a baby. But this is like the most important thing. And
it's an entire life I have in the back of my car.
Really was not that much of paperwork. I mean, it was like, well, goodbye, good luck.
There's a lot going on there. Yeah.
It's like, well, thank you.
Right.
So yeah, even having a baby, it was a little bit less.
It was
paperwork and you know, strenuous.
Right.
So, you know, and certain things, you know, counselors, teachers, pastors, there are so many relationships where these have to be relationships.
Definitely.
You know, pastors know this, thank God. Most pastors absolutely know that human interaction is key.
Yep.
Counselors, sometimes we have been kind of pulling into counseling as far as social media counseling and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, I think it starts to get a little borderline when it comes to automated counseling.
I mean, people may have the videos, and you may get something from that, but of course, that's a one-directional. You're just taking in, you know, whatever they're saying, their advice, or, you know, you feel like you're building a relationship because it's like, oh, I've been watching this guy's videos.
Right.
But
I do have a couple of pastors I love.
Do they know you?
I watch. Yeah, exactly.
Have they listened to your story?
Exactly.
And until they give you feedback on your story, there's no greater connection than that. Again, human element is important. And I know we have AI on our show. Intentionally didn't have our AI person on the show today. I use person loosely. But, you know, it's kind of like, again, the human is not going to go away. We hear so much about all the jobs going to be taken. Yes, there's going to be an adjustment in how things go, but when it comes down to it, I mean, the human is going to be vitally more important now than ever. And I think businesses are going to realize that. I guarantee you, and I don't know if it's Amazon or whoever, the first big business to start promoting the human connection with problems and situations or whatever logistically is going to take off like a rocket.
Right. When they finally understand that yes, automation is wonderful,
but that balance is necessary
to the point. And they actually just say it out loud.
Yeah, if they just
say it in the ad, say it in the way that they interact with people. They just say it out loud, and they give that message that you're still important.
You're important, and we need you,
and we need you as the customer.
Yeah.
And we as the human will be with you as the customer.
Yeah.
And yes, we love our automation, but we're going to help you through it.
Yep. I think, exactly. The same message. I'll help you, we'll figure it out together. And I think that will stick with us.
That is going to be the thing that like leapfrogs us into all generations being able to pleasantly automate without over automating to the point that we are feeling like we just want to throw our hands in the air.
Sure. Yeah.
I agree with that. 100%.
So yeah. Well, that went into a lot of good things there. So, all right. Well, thanks for your support around the world, really. Hello to our recent listeners in Ghana, Costa Rica, Tunisia. It's been surprising finding these different countries and where y'all have been listening from. But if anything we said today resonated with you, be sure to follow or review our podcasts on your favorite platform. It really helps get the reach out. Thank you all for your support and everything. But I'm plugging for now.
But always stay connected.